Am I allowed to twerk in a vid about parenting? Welcome back! I'm cool, Mom. Welcome back. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl, Aminata Kamara, bringing you another video talking about race. Now, this isn't all that I talk about, but right now, in the current time, there's nothing else to talk about. This YouTube video is a little bit of an expansion of the blog that I just wrote, and I titled it, I'll Never Beg You to See Me, because I'm not gonna beg you. I'm not gonna beg you to see that I'm black, to understand my experience. So since putting out my last YouTube video, I've had lots of really interesting feedback, but it's made me realize that some people are gonna get this race discussion and other people are just gonna be like, I don't have time for those types of conversations. I really, really don't. I'm here to have progressive conversations with people who are willing to check themselves, myself included, my own biases, my own prejudices, and acting upon that and making active differences. But this YouTube video is a little bit of an expansion of the blog that I just wrote. I started to share a story about my daughter and something that happened at nursery some months back. So this must have been last year. I took her to nursery and I was having a bit of a chat with one of the members of staff. And as I was talking to them, I noticed some chanting in the background, which one of the little girls, who's actually her friend, was saying,
Maya's got a pineapple head, Maya's got a pineapple head.
And I remember hearing this and thinking, what? What is she saying? And I listened in and she literally was saying,
Maya has a pineapple head, Maya has a pineapple head.
And she was being quite playful. She was being a child. But it really stuck with me and I thought, this ain't right. So to give a bit of context, my daughter has afro hair. She's got a lot of hair. And it was up in a bun and she had a massive poof at the top. This is a regular hairstyle I do when, to be fair, I just can't be asked to braid it or cane row it or any of that. It's just simple, slap, bang, dash, go. By the time she comes home from nursery, she looks nothing like how I took her, but it is what it is. So this girl was making reference to her hair. And yes, you could say it looked like a pineapple. But there was something quite interesting in that kids say what they see. They say it how it is. But for me, there was something there that made me feel uncomfortable, because if you don't address someone's difference, that is going to be a vehicle for potential bullying, name calling, taunting. These are the tiny things that can lead into something bigger. And I would hate for one day my daughter turn around and say, Mummy, I hate my hair. I don't want to have hair like this. I want my hair to fall down. I want it to be slick and, you know, I want it to be like my friends. Now, my daughter's nursery is quite mixed. And in her class, there are other black kids. So I don't think it was anything where this girl was necessarily being racist. Like I said, she's a kid. But they noticed the differences. And our responsibility as adults is to guide our kids. And it's our responsibility to recognize difference and celebrate it. That's all it is. So to go back to the story now, so this incident, oh, my hair's getting on my nerves. This incident happened and I left and I went on my Instagram stories, and I do this quite regularly. I was just like,
it's not even 9 o'clock yet. And someone's already ticked me off.
Like, no joke, I'm quite stunned. She's only 3 years old, and I know it's all innocent, but what the hell? What is that? And even thinking back to it, I'm kind of going back to that space, and it was kind of like, is this something that needs to be spoken about? Is this something that I need to pull up the teachers about? Is this something that I need to have a conversation with this kid's parents. I've never been in an instance like this. Like, my daughter is my first child. She's 4 years old. She's only around family, cousins, my friends' kids, church kids, and nursery, of course. But at that age, I just felt like I was opened up to a world where it made me realize that stuff could happen to my daughter. And I wouldn't be able to protect her from that in the moment. There's nothing that I can do. And it was this weird feeling of, do I intervene or do I leave it? Am I being extra or am I not? And it's things like this that I think a lot of Black people, and I would say ethnic minorities, okay, I can't speak for ethnic minorities, I'll speak for myself as a Black woman. This is something that sometimes it's almost like it's a battle of, is this happening? Is this not? Am I reading too much into it? Is this a racial thing? And when the world continuously tells you that it's got nothing to do with race, I just said that, or I just did that, I didn't mean it. This was a battle that I was facing on my daughter's behalf. So I had this thought process going on in my mind, and as I was sharing it on my Instagram, people were coming back to me, and some people were like, nah, Amy, you need to talk to the staff about this. Other people were like, oh, they're just kids, they're just being playful. And, I call my kids, and this is a white friend, oh, I call my kids pineapple head. And there are other things that get said quite innocently that I'm not comfortable with it. So other comments such as,
oh, you cheeky little monkey.
Or,
oh, you little devil.
Or,
oh, you naughty little rascal.
or things like that. And yes, they're just playful words, but as far as I'm concerned, words carry life. Words are powerful, and words have the ability to speak into you. And if you don't address these things at an infant stage, it could turn into something else. And I'm not here for it. And maybe I'm being extra, but hey, I'm a parent and I'm going to do my best to protect my daughter and to support her and to encourage her and to champion her as best as I can. There's no two ways about it. So I did end up taking this matter to nursery. When I picked her up, I brought it to the nursery manager's attention and said, early this morning, this incident happened. And she was just like, oh, and she was just like, just explain to me what you're thinking. And I said, for me, it's not about punishing that child. It's not even really about speaking to her parents. I mean, yes, that can be part and package of it, but this should be a teachable moment. This is a moment where you use this opportunity to do some kind of exercises or to talk to the other kids and just say, hey.
Let's talk about hair. Let's talk about how people have different types of hair. So some people have hair that's long, some people have hair that's short, some people have hair that's really curly, some people have hair that's ginger, some people have afro hair and, their hair doesn't come down, it comes up. This is what different people look like. But how beautiful is this? How unique is that? How fascinating is that?
I'm not a teacher, so I don't necessarily know the best way to bring out these things in kids. But what I do know is it's something that you have to address, as far as I'm concerned. So I brought that to her attention and she was like, okay, that's great. She goes, this is, and I'm quite a vocal, myself and my daughter's there, but quite vocal. So if there's ever any pasa, like, we are addressing it. So she was just like, thank you for bringing this to us. We're always in constant communication. If there's something that the nursery is doing that, my daughter will come back singing a song or telling me about this activity, I'm like, boom, I'm speaking to the nursery. What did you guys do? Let me replicate that. We have methods of disciplining her. We have the thinking step. We don't call it the naughty step because I don't want her to see herself as naughty. I want her to see that her behavior is bad and she needs to go and reflect and think on it. And then, we have a conversation and that's what we do. So we brought that to the nursery and said, we don't want it to be called the naughty step. And now they have a thinking spot. They don't have a step, they have a spot. So, and this is something they've done for the whole group now. So there's ways in which we're working with them constantly to improve their methods of working. And as a Black woman, I have a duty they only have one Black member of staff there. So I have a duty to bring my culture, my understanding into a space where there's a lack of that. So that's what I do, and that's what happened. So she was like, brilliant, great, thank you for sharing that. We're going to do something around it. Now, in the midst of that conversation, another member of staff came in, and she was just like,
Oh, can I just quickly stop you? Sometimes some of the other parents refer to their kids as having a pineapple head. And I said to her, well, I don't know about that, and I don't allow my child to be called a pineapple head. She fully tried to justify why that was okay.
She was really dismissive, and I remember being so annoyed and just like, don't do this. Like,
What we're not gonna do.
is this. We are not gonna do this. And she was just really trying to explain, and I'm just like, this isn't about punishing the kid. And for any opportunity where instances happen in our lives, in a shopping centre, at work, at school, wherever it is, if you see something, if something doesn't make you feel right, have the conversation, use it as a teachable moment. And I think we're in a time where a lot of people are getting called out for stuff. And for me, I'm not here to cancel people. And yes, certain people probably do deserve the right to be cancelled. But it's not about that. It's about using it as an opportunity. And some people will have to be made an example of on a public level. Own up to the fact that this isn't right, that maybe you didn't address it right. And we move on. We talk about it. Take ownership. You're not an expert in this. I am. This is my life. I've been a kid where kids have laughed at me. You know, again, I talk about this in my blog. People have, you know, kids have, you know, like, look at my face. I don't have your normal conventional face. Like, my face is very unique, and I'm so grateful for it, and I'm learning to love and own it. You know, there were times when, this isn't about this, but there have been times in my life where I've struggled with my side profile. I hate the way I look from the side, because I remember when I was so young, we had to basically do an exercise where we had to draw our shadow, and we had to turn to the side and we would draw our shadow. And I remember in that exercise just seeing how my face just kind of, you know, my forehead came out, my nose curved in, my lips came out. It's so different from, you know, the other kids had the nose, what was straight come out, and the lips were flat, and the whole facial structure was different. And I remember being taunted for that and laughed at for that. And it was never addressed. The teacher never said anything. The teacher never did anything about it. And I've just noticed my nails. My daughter did my nails. Anyway, I think if someone recognises that they have the ability to make people laugh, if they're already someone who has leadership characteristics, that's a great way to lead the crowd. That's a great way to, you know, to have that position within the classroom where you're the top dog. And yes, maybe initially your intentions weren't to hurt anybody else, but now your position is of leadership and people follow you. And other people will clock on to, oh, so-and-so called Maya a pineapple head, so therefore now she's like, hey, pineapple head. Nah, no. This message isn't just for parents. It's for anybody in any sphere of life who ever experiences something that just irks them. It could even be in a relationship. And I guess there's a fine line with being nitpicky and being really, you know, really over the top. Like, I understand, you know, we have to allow kids to play. We have to allow ourselves the opportunity to play. Of course, we have to have fun. We have to be relaxed. And, you know, now it seems borderline impossible to be funny or have any form of humorous conversation. But on the flip side, you need to realize the impact. One thing I will say, it is my sole responsibility to instill confidence, to let my daughter know that she's beautiful. Every now and again, I'll just be like, hey, Maya. She'll be like, yes, mummy. Maya, yes, mummy. I'm like, you're beautiful, you know. She'll be like, thanks, mummy. And she'll literally get along with it. And she'll be like, okay, mummy. Always tell her, like, we have a wide vocabulary. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. You're stunning. You're intelligent. You're smart. Like, these are the things I say to her this is why I don't tell her she's naughty. I tell her the behavior is bad and that she shouldn't do that. But I don't confess those things over her. I want her to know that she's powerful. And, you know, she is someone that she's going to grow to be a leader. She's going to grow to excel far more than I ever could. And that's what we want for our next generation. We don't want them to go through the challenges that we went through. We don't want them to second guess their identity or feel like they have to do anything to their hair, to their skin, to the way that they look, simply because of the world standards of what beautiful looks like. That's my sole responsibility. But she's not with me all the time. She's at school, she's with friends, she's watching TV. So it's important that she's seen. It's important that her blackness is recognized. This is why we should stop saying that we don't see color. We need to acknowledge these differences. She needs to be confident enough to put jollof rice and plantain in her lunchbox.
This is what we eat at home. We eat jollof rice, we eat plantain. Put it in your lunchbox. What's the problem here?
So that's my message for today. Good people. Oh, this is going to be like my badge of honor. Have the conversation. And I'll see you in my next video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, share it with your aunties, share it with your colleagues, share it with your pets so they can share it with their posse. Do the damn thing. And I'll see you in my next video. We love y'all. Mwah. I should have done the video like this, you know. I got these new sunglasses. Sometimes I think I'm really cool. I'm a cool mom. I'm not regular mom. I'm a cool mom.